Digital Analytics Implementation Mastery is a program that will launch you into your new career or enhance your existing analytics career. That's the focus of this program. So let's talk about me first, and then we'll dive into this. And please jot down all the questions you have. I want to make sure I answer all your questions, because before you can join the program, you want to make sure this is the right program for you. I don't want people to join and then regret later saying this is not the program that I wanted to be in. However, the way I'm going to structure it will make sense whether you want to join the program or not. But let's talk about this. So about me, I've been in the industry for 20 plus years in digital marketing and analytics. I have Bachelor of Technology from India. I did my electronics engineering there. I also have master's in University of Tennessee and MBA from University of Washington, where I sometimes conduct classes. I speak at various conferences. I was conducting a BigQuery workshop at a conference last month. And one of the things about conferences, if you are going to be any of these conferences where I'm speaking, if you are a member of Optizent Academy, then you get free admission. And those admissions are generally over $1,000 for my workshops. So you get free admission. And I'm also on the board. I was also on the board of DAA. I'm still involved with Digital Analytics Association, not as a board member, but I teach classes there. I am very much tied into their education part of the things. I do conduct corporate workshops. I conduct individual workshops, etc. When I say individual, it's like group sessions. I've led digital marketing and analytics for various agencies in my career. I started a company back in 2007, which we sold in 2008. This was a bunch of us who started it. But since then, I've been working for other companies after selling this and after leaving that job where we were acquired by another company. I worked for several agencies, startups, and then I started Optizent Academy. I started as a training company, but then we got asked for consulting. So we do consulting as well. The map shows where all my students are, 150 plus countries. Now there are, I think, 65,000 plus students who have gone through some parts of my courses. Not all are Optizent Academy members, but I have training programs all over the place. So they have gone through some courses of mine somewhere. All right, so let's talk about fundamental of digital analytics before I dive into the implementation part. Data is everywhere. All channels collect data, no matter where you are, whether you are online, offline, in your app, in the store, on the road, no matter where you are, everybody's collecting data on you, whether you like it or not. Some of that data, tiny fraction, shows up in Google Analytics. However, why does it show up in Google Analytics or Adobe Analytics or Pivot Pro or any other web analytics tool? Because from the business standpoint, that's the central place where everybody goes. So you see a billboard, you might remember the billboard, not maybe first time, second time, third time. Whenever you remember, you will eventually end up either on Google or Bing, search for that brand if you're not aware of that, and end up on their site. That's when the data starts to show up in web analytics tools. So whether it's their app, whether it's their website, you will eventually be part of what they collect within a web analytics tool. Other data resides in the other tools. So there might be an email marketing solution. There might be somebody who's tracking offline beacons in the store. That data stays in those places. Offline cash register, as you walk through an aisle, pick up the stuff, go at the checkout stand, somebody's taking your loyalty card number, maybe not loyalty card, but maybe your credit card number, your name, email, whatever, that data stays in those tools. However, though all those data can be connected. And also, in addition to that, you might have some data that's available in third parties. When you use a credit card, your credit card information is stored in credit card companies. That is a third-party data. They'll aggregate that data. They'll create a profile of you. They'll sell it to other parties. So they might correlate that data, or they can even sell individual data, depending on the agreements that you have signed. So let's say if I'm a retailer online and you buy a book from me, As soon as you buy a book, you swipe your credit card. Now I have your information, even if you didn't create an account. That information can then be tied to the credit card information that credit card has. So not only credit card knows, hey, you just bought a book here, but you like to spend money on XYZ restaurant. You like to eat. You recently went on vacation, and you like to ride Uber rather than Lyft, and you live in this neighborhood, and you have this much income. That's your credit card limit, etc. You can think about everything that credit card company has. All that data can be tied, and to tie that, you need technical folks. So here is a famous quote: "Data is the new oil." People have always been talking about data. Somebody says, "Well, it's not an oil. Oil comes out dirty. You have to refine it." Well, that's the job of an analyst to refine it, or a data engineer to go fix it. Data really powers everything that what we do. This is from LinkedIn. The ex-CEO of LinkedIn. And with data collection, the sooner the better is always the best answer. Marissa Myers, ex-Google, ex-Yahoo. So you can see people are talking about data collection. Data powers everything. Data is the new oil. Well, if the data is the new oil, it has to be clean. If it powers everything, it has to be collected correctly. And you have to collect tons of data that makes sense for the business. And the sooner the better means that's the best answer, means the sooner we can learn about customers, what they're doing on our site, what they're doing on our business, that's better. So this is where your implementation expertise come into play. Technical roles are many. I covered this in another part where you can start as a technical analyst, go deep into technical. I have one student who started in this side, did some technical data collection, then went into more of analysis, and now he's a data engineer. He just morphed his career because of the opportunities he was getting. So you can think of, there are several paths to where you want to be, and digital analytics is always going to be central part of it. Now, in what form will depend on how the technologies evolve, how the businesses evolve. So let's go here, talk about business. Data powers business. I did talk about this. For organizations to benefit from the data, they have to collect the right data. They have to implement the right solutions. And this is often a thing that people forget, because when they think about Google Analytics, they say, let's put Google Analytics in there. And I'm assuming everybody's familiar with Google Analytics, or GA4 as it's called now, but some aspect of it, at least have some understanding. If not, please let me know in the chat. And I would love to hear what your current role is. So just give me an idea about what you currently do. And also, why are you here? What do you want to learn? And what's your end goal? So those who speak up, the best way to learn is talk. There's no right or wrong answer. So please go ahead and type this. And then you have to implement it the right way. So right solution depends on business objectives. I'll give you an example. Has nothing to do with the digital web analytics tool. One of my clients several years ago bought a social media tracking tool. What this tool was doing is grabbing the conversations that were happening in social media, and then parsing them to provide sentiments, etc., on the conversation. So they ran a conference. They wanted to understand how people like that conference, etc. Now, when the time came, they bought the tool without consulting us. And then when the time came, they said, hey, we want to understand, how did people react to XYZ conference or other conference that happened past year? Guess what? The tool wasn't right for that kind of information. Tool only collected data going forward, not anything that happened in the past. There were other tools in the market that could have done exactly what they wanted, but they put the tool first and the business requirements later. Similarly, when you are picking Google Analytics, PVIC Pro, and now you'll hear me talk about PVIC Pro as well. I'm a big fan of PVIC Pro for several reasons. One, it is like Universal Analytics. So those who attended my session yesterday might have seen it's very, very much like GA3, what you might call. Okay, and then the tool that's GA4 is different. So that's one reason. Many of the clients prefer that tried and tested interface, reporting, everything. Also, it has all in one interface. That means tag manager is there, consent manager is there, CDP is there, analytics is there. 4 tools in one interface. So you can switch between them. You can use them easily. The other thing is it's GDPR compliant. Now, if your client down the road implements Google Analytics and then say, hey, it's not GDPR compliant, well, it's too late. You have to go back and use another tool. So it is critical you figure out what the requirements are and then figure out the right solution in the right way. That's what an implementation person does. Most of the people will just throw in Google Analytics and then start tracking all the stuff they can, which is absolutely the wrong way. I came across an implementation yesterday where the person wasn't doing what they were doing in GA4 implementation. They started sending the data that immediately started hitting the thresholding limits in GA4, or even on the page view report. So they were only capturing about 10 to 20% of their total page views. Rest of the page views were gone. So that's an 80% difference because they didn't understand what the client is looking for and they didn't find the right way to implement it. So then not only that agency lost their business because they came to us, we fixed it, and going forward, we're going to get that business. So this is where you need to understand is, are you there implementing it correctly? And this is not just one story. There are a bunch of other stories that we have come across that are sending. Okay. We'll talk about this is not a specific to GA4 or any tool specific conversation we are having. So we are having a conversation about the program and why this makes sense. Okay. So now moving along, the process for digital analytics, this is what I teach in my other class, is there's 4 pieces of digital analytics. One is the analytics strategy. How do you define the right KPI, the right measures, talk right business goals, have a conversation with the business stakeholders? That's what you do in analytics strategy. In another program, we spend a lot of time there. So those who want to become more business side, that is where they start. That program, also I'll talk about that program in a minute. Then there is tool implementation. Out of that strategy comes the implementation part, the data part. What data do we need to collect? What tools do we need to implement? How do we need to implement? So there is a whole lot emphasis here in converting business requirements into technical requirements before implementing anything. First, you understand what is the client trying to do, what is the best way to do it with your knowledge of tools and technologies and whatever is in front of you, saying, given this, this is what we can do. Or maybe this tool is not right for this. Once the tool is implemented correctly, the data is flowing, there are no issues, then you'll create insights. And insights means telling the story with the data, data visualization, reporting, finding the question to why. Why is something happening? Why are people clicking on this button? Yes, you can say X% of people click on the button, but why? Why are people not scrolling? Or why are they scrolling so much? Those are the questions, then insights. Most of the people get caught into, I need to define 15 insights or 20 insights, and they'll keep going and bringing in bogus data. Find 1 or 2 insights that can help, but that's part of the strategy. That's part of the insights. So not for the tool implementation. And then you optimize. In optimize, you might have play with certain tool implementations because you are running A/B testing personalization. In that, you need to properly tag your audience. You need to properly tag the versions that you are trying to do or trying to show to your users. You might have to bring in other data sources together. You might have to run some APIs to bring it to or create that experience. So that's the optimized part. So there are 2 places where the implementation person plays a role, right? This box and this, but they have tie-in here as well as here as well. It's the central place of where everything comes together. So what I've noticed I have a program that goes through all these cycles and teaches people how to become a digital analyst. Many people have gone through that program, have been successful. What I noticed a trend in most of those people were, when you are looking for an entry-level job, unless you are already in digital marketing, and if you're in digital marketing, this makes sense because you can apply this right away. When you're not in digital marketing and you're trying to find another job, then most likely people want you to start with tool implementation. Right here is where they want you to start. They do the strategy internally or somebody else is doing, but they want you to take that strategy and do the implementation. And maybe some of that might get you into data visualization, but insights are done by the business users. And many organizations are still trying to figure out the optimized part. So this became a huge part of most of my students. In that program, we covered everything, but this became a huge part. And I know there is a ton of need for this one. So I'm blowing out this as a standalone program, because I was spending a lot of time with my students, and to date, I just keep spending time with them to help them make sense of how to implement something. One of the examples is we're implementing e-commerce without any data layer, without any IDs on elements. So it's a big challenge, but if you know the proper way to do it, you can get it done. All right, so that's what the implementation means. It's a technical role. When you get hired, you might be called implementation or solution architect. Sometimes they might call you digital analyst. At the end of the day, implementation is going to be the will be the major part of your business. Job. You architect the solution to support business needs. Now, those who advance from just basic GA4 tracking, etc., they go into more technical side of things. APIs, like I have a team who does deal with APIs, not only Google APIs, but we deal with other solution APIs, bring them together or put them in some other databases. They go into databases, they're writing queries, BigQuery, SQL, etc. And these are all you're expert in implementing tools such as GA, Adobe. That's where you'll start. And then you need to know JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. So those are the things that'll come in handy. Now, I also had SQL aspect in here, which is more for those people who are going to be bordering between technical and data analysis. However, every organization is different. Sometimes these roles blend or cross each other. So the more you learn, the better it is. But you need to find, how do I start creating more impact? And this, if you're technically inclined, then this is the place for you. If you are not technically inclined but want to learn technical aspects, this might be a good way for you to get your feet wet and start learning this. Every person, and that's why I teach in that program, every digital analyst should know different aspects. So they know how it's impacting others. So also they know what are the possibilities and where they can go with their career. Growing your career is one of the top priorities. So you have to figure out, where will I be? Where can I go from here? Marketing technology landscape is huge. This is an April 2020 screenshot, but these are all the marketing technology tools. Go find Google Analytics in here if you can, right? It's one of the tools. Adobe Analytics is one of the tools. Pivot Pro is one of the tools. Heat mapping tools might be hidden there. Marketing automation tools are hidden there. There are 8,000 tools. And what's the common thing in those tools? Most of them are JavaScript codes. They sit on your website. Some will collect data. So they are either SQL based or JavaScript based. And implementing those tools in the right way, finding the right information to be sent. Think about Facebook Pixel. Facebook Pixel needs the right information to be sent to it. And if you cannot send the right information, then you will get garbage data. Same with Google Ads. Those are some of the tools. There might be a marketing tool that needs some data. So all of those require understanding of JavaScript and understanding of how these tools work. So implementing them. So opportunity, as I said, is huge. That digital analytics applications are across the business points. Every business unit division needs analytics. Now, some might require insights, but for you to get insights, you need to make sure it's properly implemented. And as I go through this program, you will hear me talk about not only how to implement something, but why. Why does it make sense to do something? So I'm mixing that program that I talked about and this program together, but I'm highlighting more on the technical side rather than on the strategy side, because we spent a lot of time on strategy and etc. But you'll get to do all aspects once you understand these things, then you can go and learn other things as well. You have product development, what features to use, how to design your feature, what are the impact of changes. You need analytics. Marketing, we all know how campaigns are working, how branding is working, how our list is working. You buy a list from third party, first party, wherever the list is coming from, how is it working? Then you have sales. They want to have market reach, how people use the site, what PDFs they are downloading, how many qualified leads did we get from this campaign? And how many qualified leads did we get from those who downloaded or clicked on this button or watched this video, etc. Sales wants to know that. And IT operation wants to know about, hey, is that going to slow down my site? Are you implementing the tags correctly? You might need certain things from them. Page tagging. I need this data layer. What? They'll ask you what information they should store there. Once they implement something, then they'll ask, is it working? You might require a Google Tag Manager or Pivot Pro Tag Manager to be implemented on the site. We work with developers a lot. Sometimes they'll mess up putting the code on the site. Sometimes they might be missing information. Sometimes they want to know, how should I pass this information? So they need this information. E-commerce wants to know how product is performing. You need to be able to properly tag each and every product, every step of the cart, every user, so that they can get the insights they need to make sure right products are in front of people and sales are going. Same goes with merchandising. What product categories are selling? Should I put them on the left or right? Should I put them on the top or bottom? Should I put these products in front of users? Should I create a top 10 list? Should I create a sales list? Who should I be targeting? There are merchandising questions that you can answer with analytics. They have to be properly tagged. And then you have customer support. They want to know, should the phone be available to everybody? Is anybody clicking on the phone number? Which phone number are they clicking? Are they going on the top? Are they going on the bottom? Are they clicking in the middle? Where are they clicking? Which articles are they reading? Or help files? How are those help files classified? That requires thinking. That requires you to know what the business outcome is. So it's not just slapping the JavaScript code and saying, hey, here's the data. You need to work with these business units or whoever is working, work with them to understand what are the requirements so that you can design it. Otherwise, you'll be randomly passing variables, randomly passing information, which won't make sense. So that's what the implementation expert does. It's not just slapping stuff here and there. Okay, so web analytics market, this is in general. Now, this is an old research, but 20% growth by every year is a huge growth. And now economy has taken a backseat a little bit, but accountability is going up. And for marketers to be accountable for every money that's spent, you need to be able to measure it. 5 technologies expected to gain the most value. This is from Gartner research. As you can see, digital analytics is high up here, very high value. Organizations are realizing the value that digital analytics brings. Slowly, many organizations, I've been in the industry for 20 years. I just did an interview for somebody and they were asking like how things have changed. That's how things have changed. We are fighting this battle. There are organizations, we are still fighting that battle, that to how to leverage data to make business decisions. But many organizations have already gone past that. They are now trying to track what can we do more, what can we learn more about our users. So this is one of the surveys that was done, but more and more surveys will show that this technology is here. Not maybe GA4 goes away tomorrow, and hopefully it'll go away. GA5 will come, GA6 will come, something else will come. Once you understand the fundamentals, then they remain the same. Fundamentals in digital analytics can be applied to store analytics, app analytics, right? Everybody's doing app analytics, but you can apply it to store analytics. I walk into a store, that's a user. Coming into the store is visit. I go in a aisle, that's a page view. I look at a product, that's a product view. I grab the product, that's an event. I put it in my shopping cart, that's add to cart. I walk out, that's checkout. I make my payment, that's payment. Think about this is in the store, you do the same thing that you do online. So once you learn these concepts, they can easily be applied to this other concept. And the data will be a bit different. However, you can correlate and create all those charts, which aisle people are going, which product they are picking up, where their eyes are going, which aisle they are making movement from. What do they do when they enter? That's your learning. Where do they go first? How much do they check out? What products do they add when they're checking out? All that stuff. If you think about it, similar concept. So once you understand the concept, it's pretty easy to apply it to pretty much any scenario. That's why one of my students, he went and he said, I can apply it here. He became a data engineer. He wanted to go focus on that. So marketing operation, marketing analytics is where you'll see your career. And those two you can see has a huge budget allocation in 2021. It'll continue. Once the economy is back, everybody will be spending money there. Even in this economy, since everybody is accountable, they are trying to figure out how to measure the impact. So where people miss these opportunities is because there's too much content out there. You go to YouTube, my channel, somebody else's channel, you go, there's tons of information. But do you need all that content is the question. Because there is no structure to it. You have to go find your own structure. Then you have to think about how does it apply. The way you think about it depends on your experience. If you have never experienced certain scenarios, you're not going to be able to put proper structure to it. I can put all my courses, and actually I've done it. I put all my courses online. I've given free videos. And as a result of those free videos, people come and buy the structured content. And you'll see it's similar content, but you get a better structure. So content and structure are very critical. You need to get the foundation right. Before you can put a smaller stone on top, you need to make sure you're putting the right stones to give you the proper foundation. And this is where most of the people stumble. They put hodgepodge things that they don't even require, and they then wonder what happened. Why is my career not progressing? So that's one thing. Content and structure is something that's missing that prevents people from making progress. Then you have practical and practice and experience. Experience is the teacher of all things. Julius Caesar said that. So why? Because I can tell you, here's how to track a button click. But why should you track a button click? Is that the right button to track? What information should I pass with that button track? What is the business going to do with that button click? Sure. I have one of my pet peeves is today, those who are using GA4, have people started using GA4? Yes, no. I'm only seeing like one or two people responding here. It's like I said, learning has to come from you guys. Say something. I'm going to read these things. Then I'm going to go back. After I'm done, I'll read these things and comment. This is your opportunity. When I created Optisant Academy, the whole point of Optisant Academy was to create a platform for people to come and have conversation. There are new people who are starting out. I have people who have more experience than I do in the academy, right? They have been in this industry longer, but we discuss stuff. And everybody has a different point of view because you will learn from their experiences. Experience is the teacher of all things. If I haven't experienced using the data in an hospital environment for a medical site or this, I do not know what it entails till somebody from that experience comes and tells me that. Next time I am in front of a hospital pitching them on Google Analytics tracking, I can bring those relevant experiences or relevant stories because I know these guys have experience. I have heard from them and they are telling me, and I can bring those stories there. saying, hey, this is how you can use. I heard from another colleague or another friend of mine that they are using this. He works for, or she works for a hospital, and these are the things that they are trying to do. You're not giving any proprietary information, but you're learning from them. Constant learning is how you will progress. And that's what I do in Academy. We discuss topics, different topics. I go to a conference, I listen there, I bring that information. Somebody else listens, they come back, they bring that experience. Cultural differences are there. One of my members, she did a talk on cultural differences. How people in China work compared to how people in US. If I remember correctly, if anybody's from China, people in China will, so people in Western countries generally try to avoid the ads, paid ads on Google. They'll scroll through those and they'll go and say, yeah, they are advertising, they are not legit, I need to find organic results. People in China go and say, oh, they are advertising, they must be legit, so we need to click there. That's a cultural difference. This is minor difference. But these are all the things that make or break stuff. So now if you're implementing something in China or for A/B testing, you might go, that's going to work, that's not going to work. It's just one example. I did not know all those things. So practice and experience, practice, experience. And that's what we provide in this academy. You get to practice on real side. You get to experience not only your, but you get to listen from others' experience. All of you right here have different experiences. I'm pretty sure if I bring one of you in here, you will be able to share that experience that nobody has. If you cannot see where you're going, ask someone who has been there before. This is a coach, executive coach who wrote these lines. They resonate with me. If I'm trying to go somewhere, like I said, hey, I'm pitching to a hospital. How should I position myself? I have a client who has this type of site. How do I approach that? You need a coach. In the career, I've been in 20 years in this career. My first hired people, two of the first hired, one was an accountant, one was a receptionist. Both of them ended their career as vice presidents of analytics. One of them is still going, but one of them, he was vice president, still vice president. I have taken people like, I'll share a story, people who have no background, no experience at all. All they had was a desire, and they had the right coaching to take them through this journey. I just hired one of my students. I never hire any students because I want them to go out and do their stuff. I hired one of my students. She had a 9-year break in her career. 9-year break. She did not do any analytics. She was a computer's background. But after 9 years, no marketing background, no analytics background, but she came and she excelled. She worked day in, day out. She was always telling me this is what she's doing. She took over some responsibilities from me and said, hey, Anil, I'll take care of this. You're going on vacation. I'll take care of this. That's it. And I said, okay, done. When she came and she said, okay, I'm ready. I need to find the job. I said, okay, what's your plan? And that's when we agreed. And she said, I don't care about what you're paying me. I just want to continue, be part of it. So now she's running some of the accounts. And not only that, clients are very, very happy. The implementation, the analysis, everything. Another one came with a 5-year. She wanted a 5-year plan to become an analytics manager. No background in analytics, no background in marketing. She was working as a QA person, technology QA. First job, digital analytics manager. She's very happy about it. She was a little apprehensive, but she's very happy about it. It has worked out well. So if you cannot see where you are going, ask someone who has been there before. That's how you can make progress. You can go take videos on YouTube, random courses, random things, but you need a structure of plans. That's what we do in this program. Here is Jamila from Nigeria. She was a teacher and she is now digital analyst. She's also part of my team as well, but she also does other stuff as well. And no idea. So this is where he says, when he tags his courses 0 to hero, I completely attest because it was literally in my case. Well, she calls me like a father. He walked me through baby steps till I got to my feet. And that's what I do with all my students. My passion is about teaching. I've been doing this for 17 plus years, 18 plus years, and have done individuals as well as corporate. My whole goal is whatever your career goals are, you achieve them. That'll make me happy. Why? Because you'll go out, you'll recommend a few more people. Also, you might bring in consulting work. So one of the things at Optizen, I've never gone and done any advertising. We did some Google ads. I think I'm doing some Facebook to drive to GA4. That's free book only. But very, very little advertising. I don't think I've received any outcome from that. Most of our business is word of mouth. People I've worked with 15 years ago, 17 years ago, worked with few years ago, people who have gone through my programs, they are the ones who bring the business to us. They go and, hey, I'm a manager here. We don't have a big team. Can you guys help? That's satisfaction you get. Okay, my students are making progress. We are making progress. And this is one of the mistakes I see with people all the time is they are hesitant in giving. I have a Facebook group. People will go there, and I keep putting this in their brain. Give out information. Don't say inbox me. Don't say do this. Why they're trying to drive little pennies out of that. That's not how it works. Give out the value. People will recognize you. You will go ahead. And that's what I teach all my students. Give out the value. It's okay. There's free information. Yes, some of these things require time. So, depends on how much time you're willing to spend. Here's Abhi, who also went from SEO. He was an SEO guy to digital analyst. Found his job within months of completing the program. This was the other program that I talked about. But we focus a lot in technical. Charles Mendelson, this is the guy I keep talking about. Go find him. He's a data engineer now. And he was one of the early students in my program. Within 3 months of completing the program, he found his job. He wasn't even like in this field. He was running some odd businesses. And when he stumbled upon this in my class, he wasn't even sure that's what he wanted, but that's what he ended up. He takes me out for lunch every now and then and says, I owe my career to you. So we have a conversation there. So really good. With all my students, I have good friendships as well, so that they can keep going and extending their career. All right. So here's a program. And I'll say this. Yeah. So Dora is saying it's amazing, but to find a coach requires connection. Here's one sitting right in front of you. That's what I'm telling you. Is you are here. All these people that I've talked about are going to coach you. It's the network you're filling. People say, I don't have connections. No, you do have connections. You're just not reaching out to them in the right way. When you go in LinkedIn, you connected with someone. Just don't randomly connect with somebody. It doesn't make sense. When I look at my feed, I will connect with everybody, right? I tell them to connect. People will connect. I'll accept their connection. But I don't have any connection. We are connected, but there is no connection. Why? Because the person connecting to me hasn't told me how they found me. Many people do. Hey, I took your course and I really loved it and I would like to connect it. There, you have a connection now. Then I'll ask them, how did they like it? What did they do, etc. All these meetings that I do with all my members, I do bi-monthly meetings. We sit down, we talk. That's your connection. I hook people up with job opportunities. I'll say, hey, yes, you're looking for something. You have an open position. Why don't you guys talk? Or I might come and say, hey, I have a customer who's looking for XYZ, and I think you've done this one. Are you willing to do it? It's as simple as that. It's not like walking into some room and making handshakes and that. People don't remember you. Connection happens by giving, being present. When somebody, let's say if you want somebody to be your mentor, go find them. This is my mentor. Follow them on LinkedIn. Start start commenting on them. Build that reputation. So people say, oh, yeah, I remember you. You always comment on my, sure, I can help you. Sometimes you just have to be out and ask. Most people hold back. Maybe that's a cultural thing. I do not know. But maybe it's individual thing. Some are introvert, not extrovert. Online, everybody can be extrovert. Liking is as simple as just clicking a button. That's it. So be there, present. Comments actually get you more. I'll go through these comments and then comment more. Please keep these comments coming. So it's a practical project. You will learn GA GTM in a structured way. Not only that, but you'll apply as you go. So not you're saying, I know how to track scroll, I know how to track this, but why are you doing this? And how do you do this? And then what if something is not present? So we'll focus more on tracking different scenarios. There will be live session each week to provide guidance and QA like I'm doing right now. We'll just come in, we'll talk about stuff. I want to make sure we have enough time. There will be support from me and other students. That's your connection, that's your network. And also post-program internship. Some people are good at this. They'll pick up stuff in 12 weeks and they might be ready to go. I have seen very few people do that, but people can do that. Other people need more experience, more time. So the experience you get, you can put on your resume because you become part of Optician team. You can put that resume and go out. I guide people on like their resumes, how to position themselves for their interview. I'm always available for my students. That's the whole thing. So that's why you get that coaching, that guidance that you will get. Like, hey, I'm going here. I know one student, a member. I keep saying student member. She was applying for a job that required Adobe Analytics. Now, Adobe Analytics experience is very hard to get. And we don't have Adobe courses in there. I tried to do it, but there are some courses out there. But it's like, unless you experience this, you can't really make sense of it. So she came to me and she said, they need Adobe experience. I only have Google Analytics. I've gone through the courses. I've gone through this. I only have Google Analytics experience implementing it. So I had a call with her. I was driving. When people call me, I said, hey, I'm driving. You can call me. Then I can talk on the phone while I'm driving. So I was driving and I said, look, go there and tell them, tackle this up front. Tell them I do not have Adobe experience, but I have good Google experience. And I believe I can translate those. My understanding of business is this, XYZ. We talked about specific things. She went in and she got a job. Sometimes that's all you need. There was another student from France, and he was about to give up in this career. He came to me and he said, Anil, I'm not finding anything. I said, what's the hold up? Like I said, not everybody comes to me proactively. What's happening? I don't know. I'm not getting any responses. I'm not getting this. So I looked at his resume. I said, tweak these things because it doesn't seem like you're an analyst. It seems like you're XYZ. And he tweaked it. Within a few weeks, he got a job, a great job. And he's still there. He pinged me yesterday again and said, now we are moving to GA4. So we'll see how that goes. So those are the things you will get. Program outline is you convert business requirement to technical specs, learn Google Tag Manager, learn GA4, implement GA4 using GTM on live site, JavaScript, HTML, CSS to help implement. You'll get project and you can work in groups or individual, your choice, depending on how many people are there. You can work with them. More people work together, the better it becomes. One, you're forming those connections because one of those people is going to go out and get the job first. When they do, they can also tell you how they got their job so you can get it or how they made progress in their career. It's not just new job, it's new career, new frontiers that you will be coming. So what I've done this time is the program cost, it was $19.97. This is how I started my Become a Digital Analyst program. I dropped it because a lot of people, we have people from different countries. I get people from India, like you saw, from Nigeria. I got people from other Asian countries, South American countries. They can't afford this one. Flat out, it's not. The value is there because you can make that much money easily back within a month, 2 months, 3 months, depending on where you are. Some people will make it in a few days, depending on if they are in US or European countries, they can make it half a month, maybe a month, depending. So what I've done is I was going through this back and forth and people are asking me, I thought, what's the best way to do it? Best way is I have this membership for $197 a month. If you enroll in that membership, you get this program. So you'll get live trainings with me, this whole program. You'll get the other program as well. I've included in membership plus 20 plus other courses. So that's what this cost is. Now, I am starting next week, so you don't have time to wonder months about it. Either you're in or you're out. If you're out, we'll do it again. 6 months from now, maybe a year from now, depending on how this one is received. Depending on that, I'll tweak or I'll change the pricing, whatever I need to do. But I'm not going to go lower than price. So this is the lowest you'll ever get. I will go maybe higher. The first thought was charge $997 for 3 months. But then I said, no, forget it. We'll just do this one. So I'm experimenting. This is part of the optimize. I experiment with things. So here, I never dream about success. I worked for it. Estee Lauder. So if you're ready to work for it, go join the program. Now I'm going to read these comments because we have time here. Feel free to ask me. And those who want to join can simply go here, academy.optizen.com, and then go into membership. So courses and membership. Okay, let's take a look at this. I'm going up all the way and reading comments. With the deprecation of multi-channel API, how could I overcome the gaps in these data sets? Jared, I'm saying your name right. We can discuss this if you're part of the Academy. This is not where I'm going discussing technical, or maybe if I do a free session in future, we can definitely discuss this. Hi, Anil, I'm Kareem, a digital marketer from Tunisia, eager to boost my and SQL. As a non-tech graduate, I find myself learning challenges. Kareem, this program will be definitely for you. Like I said, a teacher, non-technical, somebody with a gap, technical, but with a gap of 9 years can do it. Somebody with no experience, a receptionist can do it. You can do it too. The way I structure is I remove the jargon, I remove stuff. My whole thing is keep it in a way so that it's easily digestible. Sure, you can put technical stuff in there. You can write a blog post, an article, video for an hour long. People don't grasp those. So videos are short. Learn something, apply something. Learn something, apply something. And when you learn something, apply something, you understand the context, it's cements. Next time somebody asks, you know exactly. I was teaching this workshop over at Digital Analytics Association. And these were all directors, and there was marketing managers of one large company, Fortune 500 company. And they were sitting in the class, and one of the person was writing a SQL query, and she goes, I'm getting an error. I'm getting an error here. So I walked her, and I looked at, and I said, copy here, paste here, done. And she goes, you were able to solve in 2 seconds because you've been doing this. And that's the thing, is it's experience. When you do something and you experience it, you know exactly where the problem is, because once you practice, it cements. I don't need to know 50,000 things. I need to know how to do 10 things really, really well. Then I can expand on those, or even 1 or 2 things that I can really do well. That's what you need to focus on. If you are a basketball player and you can do 3-point shooting, you'll always be called for 3-pointers because you have mastered that. And, pick any sport, anything. It's like you master your craft, you know other things too, but that's what you do best. So yes, Kareem, I would love to see you in this program. And definitely, we would love to hear Kareem's story after 3-4 months. Now, that program is $197 per month. 3 months of involvement with me, building on the project, but people can continue that and learn as long as they want. I have many people who have been in my program for 3+ years. They continue. Definitely, they didn't pay $197 a month when I started it. I keep increasing every year. So your price is locked at whatever you'll pay. If it goes lower, then you get a lower price, but it never has gone lower. It's always gone up from there. Okay, I am Gerard. I am currently working as a digital marketer. I basically work on content strategy, social media. However, I'm more interested in analytics aspect of digital marketing to enable organization. I really look forward to a role where I deal with data analysis. So Gerard, for you, this technical will be one piece of it. However, as I said, my other program, which has become a digital analyst program, that was a separate program that I ran. And the cost for that was over $1,000. I think I charged 2,000 and then 1,500, 2,000 somewhere here, there. That program will be a great one as well. And that is part of the academy. So when you sign up, you can decide and say, hey, I want to just learn GA4, or I want to learn this whole program. You can go your route. You don't have to be part of these live sessions because you get both. And it's not either or. You can decide to do both. You can say, I'm going to attend these classes to learn technical, while my free time, I'm also doing this, because you get access to everything that I have in the program. And this is the first time I'm doing this, because I used to charge extra for those. And then I'm experimenting, bringing everything for one price. So you guys are lucky ones there. Adil, okay. Hi, Adil. How are you? Okay. Yes, we implemented GA4. So yes, dreading GA4 switchover. I'm not sure why you're dreading GA4 switchover. It's a great tool. I love it. Now, it's not built for marketers. It's built for more for analysts, but the possibilities are endless. And I am one of those who have been fan of GA4 from day one. I complain about GA4, how they have rolled it out. The team that rolled it out did not do a good job. They are missing many features. However, the underlying data structure is powerful, in my opinion. You can extend it. Now, some people disagree. That's fine. Like I said, every tool is different. The business outcomes are different. Business use cases are different. So if some business, it might apply, some business, it might not. However, I love to talk about how you can keep extending it. So I love it. Go for it. And also, if I have a course in Academy, if you don't want to join this, you want to just switch over and learn GA4, you can learn GA4 as well. And everything is monthly as well as full one-time payment. Monthly makes it easy for people to go take a course. Nobody wants a lifetime access of Universal Analytics. That's done. Similarly, you'll look back next year and say, I didn't need a lifetime access for GA4 because GA5 is here. So that's why I make it easy. Go 2 months, 3 months, go get it, and you're done. The cheapest way to get training on anything. Okay, Anita says, yes, we implemented GA4 shortly after it came out. We reported about GA, and for the first year, we are reporting GA, but not talking about them until the end of the month. I currently work as freelance. I would like to more of an expert on GA4. So Anita, you have two options. Well, both those options are valid. You just become a member. You can join these classes. And if you find you're spending too much time on things that you already know, you can go and take a GA4 on your own. It's already there. GA4, GTM, BigQuery, JavaScript, storytelling, troubleshooting, A/B testing, everything is in the in this membership. I'm a seasoned e-commerce manager, very generous, but looking maybe specialized, looking for a new role currently, or perhaps a freelance. Those who want to become freelance, I think technical implementation is the best route. Nobody is going to give you data for analysis. They might give you for visualization, build data studio reports or Looker Studio, but they're not going to give you and let you analyze the data. That's something companies do it internally. You need to have a bigger business context for that. If you're working at a company, then you'll do that. However, if you want a freelance business, become implementation person. That's the easiest to get, or a Looker Studio person, easiest to get into. And now there is a new wave going to come in for BigQuery professionals. Hi, my background is business and I have zero experience about it. I'm accounting professional and have certified license. I've attended your webinar. I'd like to explore more. Sure, Joanne, go ahead and join this program. I think we can talk about other aspects where you can go, where you can focus, so that and do not, there is an option where it says, hey, join up for this when you want one-to-one meetings. In 197, you'll get one-to-one meetings with me. So that's the benefit you get today is if you join, you get the one-to-one meetings. Just getting a meeting with me, I charge people for that, but it's part of your program. So you get it. And as I said, I had an accounting professional was my first hire. He is a VP of some company for analytics. Most of the time people hire, when I particularly hire, I don't look at and say, Google Analytics, you got a Google Analytics certificate. I don't even look at your Google Analytics certificate. You bring a Google Analytics certificate. None of my people that work with me have Google Analytics certification. I can teach you how to get certificate, but I do not place values on those. What I place values, and I told you a story about why I hired somebody. And this is the same thing I look for everybody. Can I rely on you? Do you have what it takes to be useful to me, to be able to go and find stuff on your own? Are you motivated enough? Those are the kind of things. And that comes out during conversation. Somebody says, I don't know. I don't have any experience in that. Sure, I know you don't have any experience in that, but how will you find out? If I gave you a task, how will you do it? The first person who was an accountant, he said he didn't know what a cookie was. He did not know anything. He was just an accountant doing in his room. What he told me was, Anil, you tell me before I join, what do I need to learn? I'll go learn. And he showed me a book he was reading and said, I'm reading this book. Is this the right way to go or should I do something else? And don't worry about it. I'll tackle everything. I'll learn before I come on board. That's fine. I can teach anybody anything. Like in analytics, particularly, when I say anything in analytics, whether it's data visualization, storytelling, implementation part, strategy part, I can do it. I've done all aspects. I've done digital marketing. My team used to run SEO, SEM. I've done email marketing. So I understand all those things. But what I'm looking for, what people look for is, can I rely on this person? Does this person have what it takes to be successful? That's it. These things come later. Same happened with that person who got the Adobe job. It's not Adobe. Most of the people say, I don't have Adobe experience. I'm not going to apply for it. No, you have an experience in analytics field. You have a GA4 or GA experience. You have done these. You have taken part. You look at other requirements and she was able to convince them. She got the job. I'm pretty sure there were other people with Adobe experience who did not come across like that. That's what the coaching helps. Because I've interviewed so many. I know what they're looking for, how people think. Okay, my background. So Joanne, I hope this answered. And Darua, I think that I maybe called you with a different name, but I think I answered this question. Finding a coach requires connection. Connection requires to be present. If you're not present, there is no connection. And that presence is what you need to look at. What will make me be present? Right? That's what you need to think about. If you are going to be following me, go ahead and comment and like and share. You have a connection. Believe me, people like to reciprocate. If you give me something, there is no way I'm going to let you down. When you need something, I will be there. And I'm always there for people anyway. Annual program, if you want to sign up annual program, it is actually cheaper. So either you go $197 per month, or you can sign for the annual program right here, which is only $14.97. So those who want to stay, and I know you guys will stay for longer than 1 through 3 months, you can go for this one. Pick this option or this option. Don't worry about these options. You are going to get the consultation from me for this program. Can you talk more about the classes of today's program, recorded or not, included in membership? This classes of today's program, these classes will be recorded. So when I go through these 10 classes that we will cover, those will be recorded. They are included. Everything is included. For your standpoint, rather than this. So look at this one. This one is $197. My previous program was Become a Digital Analyst, was $14.97 standalone program. That's also included. So you get the whole thing in there as well. This was the more business side of program. The one we are talking about today is technical part. Okay. Can you talk about the classes? Yes, they will be included in membership. You'll get everything in membership. Not only that, but here are the courses that you'll get. If you go here and all courses, you get everything. GA4 and Tag Manager. This is the membership. Zero to Hero, BigQuery, JavaScript, Become a Digital Analyst, and here you have ebooks, data analysis. This is not a course, but my rough notes. So I keep my notes so people can see what I'm thinking about. Data visualization tips and tricks, troubleshooting, storytelling. You get the SQL Server as well. You get Looker Studio, Tableau. Go ahead and become a member. Those who want to start their journey. And we will start next week talking about implementation. Our focus will be implementation. You'll go through some of these courses during the program and see where they apply. The classes will be about at the same time. And we will start on 6th or 5th. I'll let you know, 5th or 6th. We have a 4th is holiday here. So I think I'm starting on 6th. All right, guys. So that's it. Go ahead and sign up if you are interested. If not, good luck to you. And maybe I'll see you some other time.